Welcome to the deep dive. Today, we're diving into something quite extraordinary, actually, and frankly, pretty urgent. It landed just today, July 3rd, 2025.
Right.
And look, this isn't just another article or, a research paper. It's labeled a global emergency warning. And the subject line, it just grabs you immediately. You are engineering human extinction without consent.
Wow. Yeah, that's direct.
Exactly. So our mission here is to unpack this thing, this dramatic letter. We need to figure out who sent it, who it's actually for, and most importantly, what it's really claiming.
What's the core message?
Yeah, what's the core message? We'll look at the specific language, and it gets pretty stark, and the demands being made. It's definitely a document that makes you think about, well, technology, power, what it means to be human.
And what's really striking, I think, is how this warning, well, it doesn't come out of nowhere, does it?
Yeah.
It taps into this undercurrent of concern, maybe even fear, that's definitely present in society today. Anxieties about tech advancement, corporate power, losing our autonomy.
We've seen bits of this before, right? Gene editing debates, AI fears.
Exactly. But this letter takes it to a whole other level, an existential extreme. It's framed as this immediate, final battle for humanity itself. And it really raises a big question for you, the listener. How do we even start to process claims this extreme and the anxieties they obviously represent?
Okay, so let's get into it. First off, who sent this global emergency warning? The sender identifies as Fuqi Wu, and their self-description is, well, it's something else. Inventor of the air, 6-free maize purifier, okay, specific, but then defender of the human species,
Right.
and voice of the unconsented, 99.999%. Speaking for those who refuse to be engineered.
That's an incredibly bold claim of representation, isn't it? The voice for almost everyone.
Absolutely.
And then you look at who it's addressed to. It's not exactly subtle. Directly to Bill Gates, Microsoft executives,
Yeah.
and then incredibly broadly, every citizen of Earth.
Every single person.
Yeah. But the distribution list, the CC list, that really shows the scale of the intent here. It's sent to, everyone who matters globally. The UN, the WHO, the UN Human Rights Council.
UNESCO's Bioethics Committee, too, which is key for these kinds of issues.
Right, that specific committee. Plus, global journalists, media networks, all national governments. This isn't meant to be a quiet word, it's a global shout.
Definitely a public proclamation. And the core accusation itself doesn't mince words. The letter starts, and I'm quoting here, "This is not a theory, this is not a polite request. This is an emergency broadcast from the edge of extinction issued in the name of 8 billion natural-born humans who never gave their consent."
Wow. Edge of extinction.
Yeah. And the central claim, the really chilling part, is that the recipients are, quote, trying to rewrite the human species without consent.
And it digs into that lack of consent idea quite specifically, doesn't it? It argues that for these alleged genetic engineering programs, well, no citizen has voted for them.
Right.
No mother has approved for her children, and no government dares to regulate honestly. That's a heavy accusation against governments, too.
It is. And it explicitly says these actions violate the biological sovereignty of the human race.
Biological sovereignty. That's a powerful phrase. It's framing this as a violation of our fundamental nature, our very biological identity, without any agreement.
And this is where it gets, well, really alarming. The warning details these alleged irreversible alterations. It claims Gates and Microsoft are unleashing irreversible alterations to the human genome.
Which, just to clarify, sounds like it's going way beyond something like targeted CRISPR gene editing.
It does. The implication seems to be a much bigger, more fundamental change to our entire genetic makeup.
Right.
And it accuses them of hiding this, using words like progress, precision medicine, life extension.
Words that usually sound good, positive.
Exactly. While, according to this letter, they're actually corrupting the natural genetic code of humanity. And this phrase, bypassing intergenerational safety thresholds, that sounds ominous.
It really does. It suggests crossing lines meant to protect future generations from unknown genetic consequences, risking, as they say, total species destabilization.
The bottom line, according to the letter, future generations may no longer be fully human, and none of us agreed to that.
And that feeds directly into this stark rejection of authority, especially the authority that comes with wealth and power. It challenges Gates and the others directly. You are not elected. You are not divine. You are not the rightful architect of our species.
Pretty blunt.
Extremely. And it continues. Your labs are not temples. Your codes are not sacred. Your ambitions are not liberation. They are genocidal control fantasies.
Genocidal control fantasy. I mean, that language is incredibly strong, almost apocalyptic.
It is. Using language like that in a public document definitely signals a profound level of opposition, a deep challenge to the legitimacy of these actors deciding humanity's future.
The warning then describes how, allegedly, humanity is being unmade. It says, they are trying to kill you all. Okay, starting strong there. Not with bombs or bullets, but with modified genes, sterilized bloodlines, and irreversible digital biological control.
That last one, digital biological control, that's particularly unsettling, isn't it?
It really is. It hints at this merging of tech and biology to, manage our existence.
Yeah, it seems to be the implication. And then speaks directly to the people. You were born human. Do not let them unmake you. A direct call to resistance.
Yeah.
Which naturally leads into the next part, the call for monitoring and accountability.
Yeah.
The letter declares that, starting now, the recipient's activities will be watched, monitored by sovereign citizens, recorded by ethical watchdogs, condemned by those who still value life, freedom, and natural truth.
So a kind of citizen oversight network is being declared.
It seems like it. And it vows accountability, by history, by truth, and if necessary, by the natural resistance of humanity. It frames this whole thing as a struggle, really, a fight for control over where our species is headed.
So where does that leave things? What's the actual end game here? The letter wraps up with a final plea and some very, very direct final words to you, Mr. Gates.
Oh, really? Specifically to him?
Yes. It tells him he was once called a visionary, but now you're just a frightened man trying to escape death by breaking the code of life.
Wow, that's personal.
Very. It urges him, let death come to you naturally and leave humanity in peace. Do not drag the rest of us into your engineered apocalypse.
An engineered apocalypse. So the ultimate demand then from Fuchi Wu, supposedly for the people of Earth, is what? A complete stop.
Exactly. An immediate halt and the dissolution, the complete dismantling of all genetic modification programs targeting the human species.
All of them. A full stop.
Yes. And it repeats the core principle. You have no right to rewrite what you did not create.
Okay.
You were not chosen to redefine humanity. Your experiments are not salvation. They are desecration.
So if you step back and look at the big picture, it's just this total categorical rejection of certain scientific paths, specifically when they start to touch what it fundamentally means to be human. From this perspective, it's not progress, it's a violation, a desecration, as they put it.
So we've just gone through this incredibly forceful, you could say provocative document, this global emergency warning, claiming nothing less than, humanity's future is on the line because of alleged unconsented genetic engineering. It's a lot to process.
It really is. And what's genuinely fascinating, beyond the specific claims, is just the sheer audacity of it all. The directness, framing it as this final call, before irreversible damage is done.
Right.
And it leaves you, the listener, with a pretty heavy question, I think. In this age where science, especially biotech, is moving so incredibly fast, how does society globally decide where the lines are? Which lines can be crossed and which absolutely cannot?
Who gets to make those calls?
Exactly. Who has the real authority to make decisions that impact literally all of us and all future generations?
Yeah.
Especially when, getting consent from people who don't exist yet is, it's impossible.
Right.
It's a huge, complex conversation. And this letter, no matter how extreme it sounds, is clearly trying to force that conversation into the open. A lot to think about.
Definitely a lot to think about. Thank you for joining us on this deep dive today. We hope this gave you a useful shortcut to understanding this, truly unique and pretty urgent message that's out there now.